What if the world was perfectly safe, but you were not allowed to feel no pain, no fear, no sadness, but also no love, no color, no real choice? In The Giver, we meet a boy named Jonas who lives in a world without memory, a world where everything looks perfect on the outside but feels empty on the inside. Today, you will listen to a powerful story about memory, choice, and what it truly means to be human. You will hear slow and clear English. You will feel the story. And at the end, you will practice speaking with shadowing. So relax, take a deep breath, and listen carefully. This is The Giver. Jonas lived in a community that looked perfect on the surface. Everything was calm, controlled, and carefully planned. The houses were clean, the streets were quiet, and people spoke politely while following rules without question. Families were formed by strict plans, and children were raised with care but without deep emotional closeness. Feelings were discussed in a limited way, never truly felt. There was no hunger, no war, and no fear of the future. People did not suffer pain, but they also did not feel strong joy. The community believed that sameness meant safety, so differences were removed long ago. Weather was controlled, landscapes were flattened, colors disappeared, and memories of the past were erased. The people believed they were safe, but they did not know what they had lost. Jonas was 12 years old, and like all children his age, he felt nervous about the ceremony of 12. This was the day when children received their future roles in the community. No one chose their own job. The elders watched each child for years and decided what role was best. Some became engineers, some caregivers, some teachers or builders. Once a role was assigned, it could never be changed. Jonas trusted this system, just like everyone else. But during the ceremony, something strange happened. When it was Jonas's turn, the chief elder skipped him, and the crowd fell silent. Fear rose inside Jonas as he tried to stay calm. At the end, the chief elder returned and explained that Jonas had not been forgotten. He had been selected for a special role, the new receiver of memory, an assignment no one else had received in his lifetime. The receiver of memory was the most mysterious role in the community. While everyone else lived without knowledge of the past, the receiver carried all the memories of the world as it once was. These memories included pain, love, war, joy, color, and music. They were held by one person so the rest of the community would not have to experience them. Jonas felt frightened, but also curious. Soon after the ceremony, his training began. He was taken to a quiet building where he met an old man known as the Giver, the current receiver of memory. The Giver would pass the memories to Jonas so that one day Jonas could replace him. Yuan Proption Retri stayed as mean. He explained that Jonas had been chosen because he was intelligent, brave, and able to see beyond sameness, even though Jonas did not yet understand what that meant. The first memory the Giver gave Jonas was simple: snow. Jonas felt cold for the first time, along with excitement and speed as he slid down a hill on a sled. Laughter rose from inside him, a feeling he had never known before. When the memory ended, Jonas was confused because snow, hills, and sleds did not exist in his world. The Giver explained that long ago, people lived with natural weather, seasons, and landscapes. These things were removed to make life safer and easier. Jonas began to understand that safety came with a cost. As the training continued, Jonas received more memories of sunshine, flowers, warmth, and ocean waves. One day, he noticed something strange outside of training. He saw a flash of color in an apple, and later his friend's hair looked different to him. Jonas was beginning to see color. The Giver explained that color had been removed to ensure fairness, so no one would feel envy or pride. But Jonas now understood that color brought beauty. He also learned the meaning of the word love, a word the community avoided. Families spoke of care and support, but love was seen as too dangerous. Jonas felt a warm, powerful feeling growing inside him, something that rules could not control. Not all the memories Jonas received were beautiful. He experienced pain for the first time. He felt injury, hunger, and war. In one memory, he saw soldiers lying wounded in the mud, filled with fear and sorrow. He understood why the community wanted to protect people from such suffering, but he also realized that without pain, people lost compassion. Because they did not understand suffering, they could not truly care. Jonas began to see his community differently. The polite smiles felt empty and the rules felt cold. He started questioning things he had always accepted. The most terrible truth came slowly. In the community, people who broke rules, the elderly and newborns who did not meet standards were released. Everyone believed release meant going somewhere else. One day, Jonas watched a recording of a release ceremony, and what he saw destroyed him. Release was not relocation, it was death. The people who performed it felt no cruelty because they did not understand life or loss. Jonas realized with horror that his father, who worked with newborns, performed releases, and he did it with a smile. Jonas had been living with a baby named Gabriel who struggled to sleep and grow properly. Jonas used his ability to share memories to comfort him, and through this, Jonas felt real love. When he learned that Gabriel was scheduled for release, he could not accept it. He could not allow the baby to die just because he did not fit the system. Filled with fear and anger, Jonas went to the giver, and together they made a plan. The giver explained that if Jonas left the community, the memories would return to the people. Without a receiver, the memories would spread, and the community would feel pain, love, and truth again. The giver was too old to leave, so Jonas had to escape. Jonas agreed, but when he learned that Gabriel's release was planned sooner than expected, he did not wait. He took the baby and fled into the night. Outside the community, life was difficult. There were no food deliveries, no temperature control, and no rules to guide every action. Jonas felt hunger and fear for the first time, but he also felt freedom. As he traveled, the memories returned to the people he left behind. Jonas hoped they would learn compassion and make better choices. As winter arrived, Jonas grew weaker, and Gabriel cried from hunger and cold. Jonas used memories to keep them warm, but his strength slowly faded. Then he saw something familiar, a hill and a sled, just like the first memory. Jonas placed Gabriel on the sled, held him close, and began to slide. As they moved forward, he thought he heard music and saw lights. The ending is uncertain, but what is clear is that Jonas chose love over safety, choice over control, and humanity over perfection. The Giver is not just a story about a strange future. It is a story about us. It asks whether safety is worth the loss of freedom, whether we can remove pain without removing love, and what truly makes life meaningful. The novel reminds us that emotions, even painful ones, make us human, that memory connects us to the past, and that choice gives us dignity. Without these things, life may be easy, but it will never be full.
Now it is time to practice shadowing. Repeat each sentence after me, slowly and clearly. Jonas lived in a world where everything was controlled. The community gave up memories to avoid pain. Jonas was chosen to take on a special role. He began to see colors and feel emotions. The truth about his world slowly came out. As you repeat, focus on calm rhythm and clear pronunciation. Next, let's practice some phrasal verbs from the story. Give up means to stop having something. The community gave up memories. Take on means to accept responsibility. Jonas took on the role of receiver. Find out means to discover the truth. Jonas found out what release really meant. Run away means to escape. Jonas ran away to protect the baby. Hold on means to continue or not give up. Jonas held on to hope. Excellent! When you repeat with calm focus, your English becomes more natural and confident. The giver teaches us something important. A life without pain may look peaceful, but without pain, we also lose love. Without memory, we lose meaning. Without choice, we lose ourselves. Jonas chose to feel. He chose to remember. He chose to be human. And you are doing the same right now. Every time you listen, every time you repeat, every time you choose to learn. Keep going. Hold on to your curiosity and never give up on your voice. This is Alex, and this is Daily English Podcast. See you in the next episode.